Hello, everyone. This is Jill Hope, and I'm really excited today to share with you Martha McClelland. Martha is a facilitator of our Inner Wellness curriculum in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and she's here to talk to us today about her experiences. Welcome, Martha.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so great that you could take this time to share with us.
It is my pleasure, for sure.
So I wanted to start our talk today just getting your views on some of the limitations that you see in both the school and home setting where you've noticed that the curriculum could kind of fill that gap.
Sure. I want to start by saying that I don't want to make any sweeping generalizations with this statement. And also I want to recognize that a lot of schools and a lot of homes are trying to do a lot to fulfill sort of that nurturing of social emotional development. So I hope everybody understands what I mean when I say that I think one of the biggest limitations is time. Often I think in schools, there's so much pressure to work through the curriculum and work through the academics and meet the standards in terms of the testing and getting through that, which of course we know is not the only measure of success, but that oftentimes there's the feeling that I can't afford to give up the teaching of the academics in order to help build skills for social emotional development. Similarly, I think in the home, I think we lead very busy lives, busier than likely ever, and for a very variety of reasons. And so time, again, I think it's hard to dedicate time to building social and emotional wellness unless there's a crisis. And when the crisis comes up, then, we sort of deal with the emotions, but it's not always the most effective way to build skills in kids. They learn the skills best when they're relaxed and their brains are calm and they can process things differently using a different part of their brain than when they're upset and emotional about whatever has happened. So this curriculum lends itself definitely to being able to be implemented easily, so that those skills are built and incorporated into the everyday life.
That's interesting because I've noticed exactly the same thing, is that, I don't think anyone would deny that these types of skills, these social emotional learning skills, are important. But the pressure, I think, that you hit on is so felt at the school and in the home. I mean, I don't work in a school environment, but when I've gone and talked to schools, they've got to meet their standards and they've got the pressure. They also have a lot of budgetary pressures as well, and they can't really take on additional things as much as they would love to. In the home, you've got some parents working multiple jobs, and really they're just trying to get through the day and make sure their kids have food in their bellies and get sleep and get their homework done. And there's not a lot of time to focus on this area. So a lot of pressures all around.
Yes.
So what specific challenges did you notice, Martha, that had you see an opportunity where the curriculum could provide some support?
Yeah. Well, I think one of my strong convictions has always been that it takes a village to raise a child. And so being involved in the life of my own children was very important, and in the lives of their friends. And so I have two daughters, and seeing how the pressures of navigating some of the social nuances and friendships at school after they would come home, it was having a very negative impact on just their whole emotional being. I knew that this wasn't okay, and I needed to do something for them. I drew on the resources that I had personally and professionally, and I remembered back to growing up myself, and when things would happen, and I'd come home from school upset, and my mom, who is still to this day my hero, she is a very compassionate person and empathetic listener. And so she would listen and we would talk, and she would always finish off by saying the four most powerful words, I think, that stuck with me. And she would say, to me, never stop being you. And so that sort of was the message that I was giving my own kids, and that got me digging deeper to bring in more resources for them, and I could see their confidence build, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to bring this message further and wider into the school, and so that more kids were hearing a similar message, and having a place where it's okay to talk about feelings, and it's okay to explore different sides of a situation. And so that led me to the curriculum, actually, and to hearing you speak about some of the similar messages, and right away, just hearing your message, I thought, yeah, this is it. This is the right fit. And so I took it to the school, and they were on board for sure. And to have somebody offer a program for them meant a lot of things. Like you said, they feel it's important. They recognize the reasons why it's important. And now this was how do we fill that gap that was missing? So. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful. So tell us a little bit about how you have implemented and are utilizing the curriculum at the school.
Sure. Well, we decided with the administration with the school, we decided to have this as a girls group, first of all, and to have a safe space for girls to be able to talk about their emotions. I think they process things a little bit differently than boys. And so we decided to have a girls group for grades 4 to 6. And we run it at lunchtime, one lunchtime a week. This is my second year doing this program. My first year was filled with lots of lessons, and I was sort of adapting as I went. This year I feel like we're in a good groove with the program, and so I've changed up a few things just to meet the needs of the group, because we do get anywhere from 30 to 40 children, girls, in coming into the gym each time to hear the program and to do the activities. So it's a little bit bigger than a class size. And our time, we have a little flexibility with the time because we're working just through the lunch period. So they'll eat their lunch as I talk, and then we do different activities and that sort of thing that fit in with the lesson. And yeah, it's lots of fun, and it's a great time.
So what are some of your goals for the girls in participating, and what are some of their goals? Why do they? I'm assuming this is a voluntary thing for them. Is that correct?
It is. Yeah, it's by choice. And so I think a lot of their goals match my goals. The first one is to have fun. And I think that's when learning happens the best, is when everybody is having fun. They want to know how to resolve conflicts and differences among their friends in a positive way. They want stronger friendships. I think they generally want to feel good about themselves. And that's part of my goal too. And so we worked in some physical activity because I believe in the importance of physical activity to promote mental wellness, and some crafts and some creativity. So we're tapping into that side of the brain, as well as we've worked in some mindfulness and yoga, which has been really nice. So they are learning lots of skills that they can use when they are feeling stressed and when they need to bring it down a notch, and they understand that they have the tools themselves that they can use.
Yeah, and I think you're kind of hitting on something that I think is important for people to understand, is that the program itself has so much to being able to make the tweaks that best suit your audience, by adding other modalities to kind of cement the learning. So I'm glad that you've been able to do that and found the program to work in that way for you and your group.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the benefits or some of the notable improvements that you've seen in the girls. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. I think I see the girls developing the confidence, certainly, to handle their differences and their conflicts that happen on their own, which is fabulous. And I think they see the importance of resolving those conflicts when they happen rather than sort of pushing them off to the side and letting it fester and it grows the next time a conflict comes up. So definitely healthier relationships, healthier friendship. They've had a reduction in the referrals to the office over conflicts between certain girls. They see girls choosing friends that have positive influences on each other. And I think they take these lessons too, and whether they use the same words that I've used in the lesson or not, just in their actions and how they approach situations, they're having an impact on those around them. And I've also heard from some parents too that the girls went to lessons and they even help the parents through hard times. You know, if they're having a frustrating moment, they'll say, "It's okay, Mom. We just have to stop and take a breath." And you know, they really bring to light some of the lessons and help their parents through situations, which is really kind of neat to hear.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love that. Obviously, they're really getting it at a deep level if they're able to then recognize issues where they can actually help by offering these suggestions. So that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Martha, what has been, would you say, is the most rewarding part of being a facilitator for you?
Well, I think for me, certainly seeing the girls come week after week, excited and ready to learn. They're very engaged. There have been a couple of weeks where we've had to cancel a session just because of school trips or whatever. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, the girls are very vocal about how disappointed they are. So that says to me that they are gaining lots from it. And then I see them walking around with their heads held just a little bit higher and obviously feeling good about who they are. And that to me is so rewarding just to watch and see, because for them to believe in themselves and to believe that they have the power within to handle these situations is so good.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that. I know when I've facilitated a few workshops, I've seen similar things that there's just sort of a brightness to the kids that you feel it right in the heart.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Martha, is there anything else you want to share with any listeners that might be considering becoming a facilitator? Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you think is important to offer today?
Sure, yeah. I think certainly the issues that I was hearing from my girls, and I know that it's not, like I said before, it's not unique to girls. These are issues that come up regularly in the home, struggling with confidence, struggling with the tools to handle situations. And I think in this day and age where we're so attached to social media and the screens, which is a whole other topic, but I think it impacts how we see or it could impact how we see ourselves, that a program like this is so crucial in this day and age, so that kids learn that they have everything that they need within themselves. They are okay just the way they are. They're beautiful human beings just the way they are. And a program like this, and this program is an investment, and the payback is just endless. You know, you can see the benefits of a program like this for years and years down the road. And I think too, even in the introduction of the curriculum that you wrote, you mentioned that kids will develop these skills eventually, or can potentially develop these skills and this thinking. But to have a curriculum and to have a dedicated space and a safe place where they can learn these skills just gives them a little bit more of a step up and an efficient path to travel life, rather than trying to struggle and trying to figure out what the lessons are as they go. So it's definitely well worth it to invest the time and energy into delivering a curriculum like this.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Martha, for sharing all that information. I'm sure that it's really helpful to anyone who's considering becoming a facilitator. Thanks so much for being here, Martha.
You're welcome.